What's up guys, Houndish here, and today we've got some more Destiny 2 Edge of Fate news coming directly from Bungie. And so, today they talk about a bunch of new armor sets that we'll get for Edge of Fate, primarily focusing on the cosmetic component for these sets. So we see some new Trials armor, new sets for all classes, as well as some new ornaments and things which will be available via Eververse, so nice to see some juicy loot, I suppose. There are also a couple of weapon ornaments, cosmetics like ghost shells, and then, separately, Bungie also speak about weapons in Edge of Fate, with a Dev Inside blog talking about weapons and gear tiering. So we'll round it all up. If you guys enjoy this one, a rating below very much helps us out, but now let's get into it. Initially, the Destiny 2 team say we ran out of time for a fashion show on the stream yesterday, but wanted to highlight the new armor sets coming at launch. So first up, we have a Warlock sporting new Trials of Osiris armor, obviously with some very classic Trials components, the logos and stuff. And I guess overall, a slightly different take on armor sets that we've seen for Trials previously. Secondly though, they talk about the Hunter adorned with new Crucible armor. So that's the new Crucible set, kind of reminds me of slightly more vanilla sets of gear from Destiny. And lastly, the Titan is wearing armor from Pinnacle Ops coming to the portal on July 15th. And they say note, the blades on the Titan are actually on the Titan mark, so could be interesting to mix and match these with armors from different sources. So that's 3 new sets initially. Otherwise, they show some additional Edge of Fate armor, and these are Stone Guardian ornaments. So actual concept art here, as far as I can tell. Bungie have said these will cost silver at launch, but will be available for Bright Dust later in the season. Initially, there's the Titan, of course. Then we got the Warlock, kind of gothic, almost, like stained glass vibes going on with these a little bit. And lastly, the Hunter, looking pretty awesome right there as well. Other cosmetics they show include a ghost shell here. I think this is actually inspired by the cat from the Marathon trailer. But otherwise, another Vex set here. This is Vex Lo-Fi, which will be available in the Eververse store. So again, we got the Titan initially, followed by the Hunter, and then the Warlock. Also here, what appears to be a new ornament coming up for Fighting Lions. So Bungie has spread these out across social media in different outlets. I guess just a few teasers overall, so give me your thoughts below. Otherwise, Bungie gives some insights on weapon tiering. And this is from a new dev blog, so they say in Edge of Fate, we set out to accomplish several goals to make Destiny 2's loot chase more meaningful, and gear tiering aims to provide new buildcraft options and novel ways to play, particularly with armor set bonuses and seasonal weapon mods, and for each gear tier to provide a new mechanical benefit. This means that new drops will present a more direct upgrade to your arsenal. That said, perk synergies are still prized to chase on weapons, and even lower tiered gear with synergistic perks may be stronger than a higher tier, which is a fair comment, you know, if you've got a god roll tier 2 weapon versus a very badly rolled tier 5 weapon, then the additional benefits from the tier 5 obviously won't compensate for the bad traits. But they go on to say the chase to upgrade your arsenal will endure throughout the season as players pursue higher powered gear with more enhanced perks, benefits, and better stats to tackle the most difficult challenges. Lastly though, we wanted the final tier for weapons to feel prestigious, and these rewards come equipped with a unique shader and combat flare that ignites your enemies into celebratory blue flames when defeated. So from 1 to 5, a breakdown of the new benefits provided at each weapon tier. Tier 1 is a base weapon, it can now use seasonal mods once acquired. Tier 2 gets enhanced traits. And tier 3 will drop with 2 traits per column, so actually if you've got an adept weapon, technically the upgrades for our current best weapons actually align them pretty close to tier 2, with the exception of maybe having double perks. Obviously you can't use them all at once, so something worth thinking about. Then for tier 4, we get enhanced weapon mods in addition to the previous elements. That includes seasonal mods and enhanced weapon components like barrels and magazines. Then finally at tier 5, enhanced origin traits, 3 traits per column, and access to a unique ornament with a unique shader and the combat flare. Bungie also say, when fully masterworked, weapons will also receive a bonus to all stats equal to the tier of the weapon. So a tier 5 weapon has plus 5 stats across the board, on top of the masterwork plus 10. But additionally, they have seasonal mods to change the way we play within a season, offering new opportunities for build crafting. Let's not forget about enhanced mods like adept mods before them, which provide just an extra boost. An enhanced origin trait will boost the effect a bit more than an enhanced trait, providing an extra cherry on top for acquiring tier 5 weapons. Lastly though, the combat flare and the unique ornament provide a visual opportunity to show off your earnings and accomplishments, with blue flames erupting from foes and dancing across your weapon. Not to be forgotten, owners of Sweaty Confetti, the original combat flare, will find that Edge of Fate capable weapons will have access to this outside of the traditional mod slot regardless of weapon tier. So that's interesting. Then for the seasonal mods, they say, we want to expand on those introduced in episode Heresy to be available on all weapons within the season, not just a specific set. So in Edge of Fate, you'll be able to acquire the following mods by exploring Kepler and completing portal activities. There is Temporal Loader. This weapon loads ammo from reserves when dealing damage to targets that are slowed, frozen, or suspended. Then Temporal Tracker, where we gain a bonus to aim assist and projectile tracking for a moderate duration after picking up an orb of power. There's the Adapter mod too, and readying the weapon grants it bonus stability, handling, and reload speed for a moderate duration that is borrowed from an alternate timeline version of the weapon, and swords gain bonus charge rate and guard resistance. Then we have Armaments, where the weapon gains bonus damage versus Cabal and Vex targets, and finally, Temporal Blast. This weapon stores a portion of its damage dealt into charges, and at 5 charges, the weapon shoots a creative blast on impact that damages nearby enemies. And they provide some visuals for what tier 1 through 5 weapons will actually look like, as you can see on the screen. But finally, they talk about earning new gear, and they say we'll begin our journey on Kepler earning tier 1 gear with a focus on gaining power. Then we'll earn new weapons and slowly begin to find occasional tier 2 gear as we unravel Kepler's mysteries. But upon completing major accomplishments or raising your seasonal power, you'll earn permanent upgrades to Kepler reward tiers. Across Kepler, gear can be acquired via chests, exploration, and uncovering secrets, as well as playing campaign missions and focusing engrams with local resources. Once the campaign is completed, new difficulties will be unlocked for replay, accessing higher gear tiers, and post-campaign activities will appear from time to time, providing even more Kepler loot while it lasts. Throughout the portal, modifiers will up the challenge but also increase chances of more rewards. The harder the undertaking and the faster we complete an activity, the higher the reward score will earn, providing better chances to earn higher gear tiers at the end of the activity. Lastly, once the new raid opens, players will find new challenges to acquire pinnacle tiered rewards. We won't spill what the raid team has cooked up, but the challenge is mighty and the rewards are just as sweet. They finish by saying we look forward to seeing how players engage with gear tiers. Some players will set goals to acquire the highest tiers, aiming for those god roll tier 5 armor and weapon drops. Others will target tier 3 rewards, similar to older depths in terms of power and perks. Ultimately, players can decide what kind of tier they wish to chase and 3 distinct ways to target gear tiers across Kepler, Portal, and raid content. So there we go, that is the blog post from today. Obviously, some of the weapon components have been discussed previously, but a little bit of extra insight in terms of how we'll actually award that stuff, and a look at the new armor, some of it looking pretty cool. So share your thoughts in the comments, guys. If you've enjoyed this quick update, a rating very much helps us out. Otherwise though, thank you for watching, and I hope you guys have an awesome day.